Good morning. Welcome to this morning's The Rise and Win Show. My name is Stephen Goatmez. I am your host. This is my first time hosting the day, so just bear with me. So you are plugged in to Social Plug Media, and today we're going to have some really cool guests to talk some a very unique niche in their business. But first, talk it over to JRock and
What's up,
introduce
brother?
him.
Hey, bro, you did that plug in pretty good, man.
I was
I don't even
nervous.
do that shit.
Yeah.
Johnny's gonna be very proud of you.
Yeah, Johnny told me about it, and I was just like, okay, like here we go. Hey, don't like mess up the plug. I'm gonna have to
Don't
fix the prong
Don't knock
and stuff.
yourself out. Don't let the wire choke you out or anything. Hell yeah, man. No, it's great. It's Monday morning. Been up pretty early. Was coaching this morning, so I'm a little awake today compared to last time.
Yeah,
I was very out of it. These workouts haven't been fun for me, so I got to get back in it so I can keep up with these kids, man. So
for sure.
what you got going on, man?
So today we have AVA Custom Screens. They're located here locally in New Braunfels, and we have the founder Tony and his business partner Justin to talk to us about it today. So we let these
Heck
guys
yeah.
introduce themselves. We'll start with Tony.
What's up,
What's
guys?
up,
I'm
Johnny?
Tony Canizales. Been in business for 11 years now with AVA Custom Screens, and this is Justin, my business partner. Justin's been with us for roughly, 7 months now?
7, 8 months, yeah.
Got some experience in
Last
sales
October.
and landscaping, hardscaping. So, yeah.
Nice. So, what is it exactly that you guys do? Like, what is AVA Custom Screens?
So we provide custom screen solutions. Initially, when we started 11 years ago, it was a garage screen. The lifestyle garage screen was our flagship product. I had a decked out garage, couch, TV, bar type
Okay.
deal. And a buddy of mine from high school told me about this screen, and he's like, "Dude, you need to check this out." And it's super easy to become a dealer for him. So I've always had some kind of side hustle along with my job. I signed up to become a dealer, got my LLC, my EIN, and started selling these. And then once you get into some kind of business, you start adding different products within that niche. So we added motorized shades. We did solar window screens for a while. We still offer them. It's not
Right.
one of our focus points, but we also do screen enclosures as well, custom screen enclosures. So everything's custom, built to order. So
So, what did you do before this?
actually, when I started the company, I was working for the IRS. Everybody's cringing. Yeah, I know. So, full-time job with the IRS. I was with them for 14 years. I would work my job from 4:30 to 12:30 at night, wake up at 6 o'clock, do my business, and about the pandemic, roughly in August, September, or no, I'm sorry, May, June, I was literally rushing home to log in from working my business to log into work, doing that full time, going to sleep, getting a couple hours, and then finally in September of that year, 2020, it was enough. Business just boomed with everybody being at home,
Oh, yeah.
where I was like, it's time to leave. I'm keeping myself from growing.
Right.
So yeah, put my 2-week notice in at the IRS. Provided, serving 14 years of service for the IRS, and been doing this full time ever since.
Damn.
Yeah.
We had to talk off the books. What's up with you, Justin? So, what's your story, man?
Yeah, so I worked for a wireless carrier for 11 years.
Okay.
Kind of worked my way up through the corporate ladder. Went to the B2B team and the government team for them also. And then left Verizon to go work for an IT training company and help run their small, medium business sales team. And then in 2020, went through some personal stuff and decided that like the corporate office just wasn't for me anymore. So I started a lawn care and landscaping company. Did that for a few years, and then just was having a struggle with employees and just running your own business. So decided to shut that down, go back into the corporate world.
It's hard doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. So,
And went back into the corporate world and was working from home and was like, this is not for me anymore, man. And so, Tony and I know each other, and the opportunity was there, so took it. So far, it's been going really well. I mean, I'm really enjoying it, and we're growing the business and doing a lot more detailed projects, larger projects, getting into these nicer neighborhoods and really making a name for ourselves. And I think the biggest thing with us is just the quality of work and taking our time and being clean and setting up a workstation and really treating the homeowner's house with respect and leaving it the way we found it, if not better than what we found it in the
Absolutely.
first time,
Yeah, for sure. So, and I like that because, coming from the military myself, we would always say, like, hey, leave it cleaner than what you found it. And that's really big because you think about it, like, man, I don't know how many contractors we've had at our house in the last year. And I get pissed, man, because it's muddy or dirty. Like, the worst one, we had a plumber come try to, we had some roots growing down in the pipe under the toilet, and dude left it a mess. I had a call, and I was just like, bro, seriously, a bathroom? Like,
Well,
come on, man.
you mentioned contractor, right?
Yeah.
So the nice thing about us is we're a family-based business.
Nice.
I'm involved just about every step of the way. If I'm not on installation, Justin's there, which is my right-hand man. I feel confident in what he can do. So yeah, we don't sub any work out. We're always
Nice.
going to be there. You call us, it's either going to be me or Justin that are answering your emails, your phone calls. Warranty work, it's going to be one of us as well. So.
Man, and that's the nice thing about having a small, I don't want to say small business, but a family-owned business where you're not having all these corporate entities and like different contractors coming in, and you guys are there to watch every step of it. And that's a big difference.
Yeah, no, we're actually getting our hands dirty. We were literally installing shades before we headed over here. So.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we left the guys.
Yeah,
we're
let the
getting at
guys-
it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
seriously. We were sweating. I had to change my shirt and everything. So.
So, Justin, do you play ball with the guys when you're training? I mean, you get in there getting your hands dirty?
I'm trying to, man. I mean, I get a little dirty sometimes, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like, as a recent, like, I wasn't in the best of shape. So before the summer was hitting, I'm like, geez, I'm starting to run with these boys. I'm like, oh, geez, these guys are going to kick my ass. And I can't give them my full effort, right? But no, I definitely get my hands dirty in that way. So, gentlemen, I got a question. So, Tony, like when you were kind of moving from the IRS, getting ready to go into your own venture here, what did you find kind of what was one of the most difficult things to adapt to or find to get you to push and do that, man? Because for you to work 8 hours and then go put more time into this other dream of yours, some people don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? So how did you find that as well?
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. Biggest thing is going to be the constant paycheck,
Yeah.
You're working for yourself. You don't know.
Absolutely.
If you don't work, you don't eat. You don't get paid. So that was the biggest adjustment. Good thing is I had a little bit of a runway to kind of help myself cushion that. With that being said, I was like busy, stacked.
How many hours would you say you were working, bro?
I was easily 20 hours during the pandemic, a day. Yeah, and that included Saturdays, Sundays as well. So
People look at that too. You're like, wait, 24 hours. That's
no, literally
4 hours. Yeah, hey, that's what it is, though,
I would
right?
get off at
For real.
12:30. I'd go to bed as quickly as I could. I'd go to the shop at 4 or 5 o'clock, start prepping, and hit the road by 6, 7 to get to where I needed to go. So, yeah, it was tough, but I mean that's what I wanted to do. I loved my business. I appreciated my job.
Yeah.
But two different things. You're gonna do what you want to do for what you love. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely. No, I agree with that.
That makes me curious. How is that, like, family-wise, working so much? And, like, because I run several businesses myself, and my wife's always like, I don't get your time. So now I'm going to tell her, well, I'm not working 20-hour days.
Right.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
And
What was
again,
that like?
You said 20 hours, right? And you only have 4.
Yeah.
And I don't think the wife only wants 4 hours as well, right?
So I think God aligned everything perfectly.
Yeah.
At that time, I was single.
Nice.
Okay.
I met my wife during the pandemic, and she kind of grew into that role. She kind of had an understanding of how busy I was. That being said, she was able to kind of guide me through that process from transitioning full-time to working my business. But she had a good idea when we met how busy I was. But yeah, it's still tough now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm up 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes working on the business. But she knows that. And I appreciate her. She's the rock of our family. And it actually happens to be her birthday, so happy birthday.
Hey,
happy birthday.
Vanessa.
Happy birthday.
But yeah, initially it wasn't that tough because I was single. But yeah, she's kind of grown into that supporting role. And I love her for it, man. She's an amazing mother and a wife. So.
And just to be clear, you have your wedding band on, right?
I do. No. Yeah, she didn't know I almost walked out with it all.
Oh, so I just did
You
something.
just threw me
Yeah.
on the bus. You should have.
I said that earlier. It's like, that's a good conversation starter.
Yeah,
but,
maybe
I
not.
think you just threw me under the bus there, brother.
Gonna be getting an audit from the IRS, and
Especially on her birthday, too, bro. Yeah, you're definitely going to get audited a certain way today.
so Justin.
Yeah, what about it?
So, you're single, and so you just working all the time? or
No,
like,
I'm
how's-
not single, man. I'm married. My wife and I have been together for 17 years. We met in high school.
Nice. I'll be really jacking shit up this morning.
No, it's all good. And then we got a 15-year-old son, so he's going to be a sophomore at Long Creek High School. And then, yeah, man, so I work and
Got yourself a dragon, huh?
yeah, I got myself a dragon. I know it's unicorn country out here, but
How long you been in New Braunfels, brother?
we've been here 11 years now.
11 years.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
moved from Southern California. Don't hate me for that, but
We'll let you live.
11 years ago.
Just fine.
No, he didn't mention he's also the president of the Booster Club, All Sports Booster Club as well. So
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
along with the business, he's busy with his family and that as well. So
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been rewarding to be a part of that and kind of see the community come together around the Dragons, even with the, the tension with splitting up the school district and,
Yeah.
and the unicorns being here forever. But the community has really been supportive, and that high school is beautiful, man. I mean, it's
It is.
awesome, and the athletic program led over there by Coach Harvey and Coach Beltoon. They're doing an awesome job shaping these young kids and not just focusing on athletics, but focusing more on making them productive members of society. So it's
Yeah,
really
it's
cool to
great,
be a
man.
part of that.
I have
so-
about, let me see. If I'm just going to guess, I think I have about 15 kids that are now dragons.
Oh yeah,
They used to be
that you're
unicorns.
training.
Yeah, through my basketball.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm loving that the program. Caleb Wallace,
Okay.
basketball coach.
Yeah, Coach
Seeing
Wallace.
him doing his thing out there.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for the whole program to
yeah, man.
start doing
it's,
their thing.
It's exciting, and as soon as construction's done, it's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
Those kids are very lucky.
It's super lucky.
Yeah.
So, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened on a job site?
funny, man.
I fell off a ladder
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
a month and a half ago up in Leander. Luckily, I was like by the house, so I kind of threw my back against the
that's
house
right.
and slid down.
Yeah.
And Tony came running around the corner.
My first thought was,
Dang.
what did you mess up?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Are you okay? And he's just like, oh man, I'll be all right. And I had him hear him bitch for a little bit, but he's good. He's
Yeah.
healthy. No product or material
Lunch on you, boss.
damage.
Right?
Yeah. Shit, right? But yeah,
That was pretty funny. I was laughing that off. I'm sure my wife, I tell her some of the stuff that I do, and we get on this guy, man. He stands on the top of the ladder. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know about that.
you got to
but-
do what you got to do.
You're asking if I was a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
You're the wrestling fan.
Hey, man,
You're on the top of ladders over
gotta
here,
do
bro.
what you
Yeah,
gotta
he's
do,
getting
bro.
up there, getting
Damn.
ready to do a.
No, what I find the funniest is initially when he started, he wouldn't go past half the ladder. So yeah, he's grown comfortable to climbing ladders. So I'll give him that. He's props for that. So
It's just getting those muscles back in,
Yeah, for
Heck
real,
yeah.
man.
Being up there, your legs are a little shaky and stuff. But
Yeah, I'm scared of heights, but we now have a 2-story house, and my wife's like, can you get up to the gutters on the second? And being a man, I'm just like, yeah, boo. I'm like halfway up the dude. I am shaking. And she's like, are you okay? I'm like, just catching my breath for a second. And I'm just like, everyone, I'm praying. I'm like, are you holding it? She's 5 foot. Like, yeah, I'm holding it. It's, yeah, I have a funny story too. When I worked for AutoZone, I was an area manager, and I was stepping out of my car, slipped, and broke my leg.
Oh,
The same day that some VP from top corporate was in town, wanted to meet me, and so my boss was like, hey, can you meet him? I was like, I think I just broke my leg. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro, it hurts like really bad. And I was like, let me go and talk to the dude and, let him know what we're doing and everything. And then I guess I'll just go after work.
Wow.
And I
So
did.
you walked on it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've broken so many bones. I've broken both legs, arms, fractured skull. I've had like 12 different surgeries. So I'm just like a
You
walking
better be drinking a lot of milk, boy.
For real.
That's all I gotta say.
Most
You better
definitely.
be drinking some milk.
You need some milk.
Yeah, you need some milk.
So with these shades, they're customized. So no matter the size of the opening, like what's the biggest one you've ever done?
Biggest one we've done width-wise is just over 27 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we can accommodate up to 30 feet wide, 20 feet high with a motorized shade. With that being said, if it's wider than that, we can always customize it where we put a post and divide it into 2 different spaces. But yeah,
So y'all are like literally building these things, whatever the client needs.
Yeah,
Up to
and
that
everything's
size.
made to order, custom-wise. Yeah, and then we build out accordingly to make sure that shade works and functions
So
properly.
if somebody wanted something, what's the process? Like how long does it take and how does that work?
Yeah, so give us a call, 512-765-5329. We'll schedule an appointment. Either Justin or I will come out, take measurements, show you samples of the hardware, the fabrics, what we can do, give you a good idea what that vision is going to look like. And then depending on the project, we can usually offer you a rendering of what that would look like based on the fabrics you selected, the colors of the hardware. We're typically looking at, I'd like to say 2 to 3 weeks. Right now
Yeah.
it's peak season. We're slammed, so closer to 4 weeks right now.
not bad.
We'll get the materials ordered, and then, schedule installation, typically 1 to 2 days, depending on the size of the project. But, from start to finish, 4 to 5 weeks at the most.
Nice. And what's the area that y'all like service?
So we're both living here in New Braunfels. So New Braunfels is home based. With that being said, I previously lived in Alamo Ranch, so I did a lot of work out there. I'd hate to tell people, because I get a lot of referrals, hey, I don't service San Antonio anymore.
Right.
So we still provide service to San Antonio, Breverde, Canyon Lake. We'll make a drive to Austin if needed. So wherever we're needed within a close vicinity, we'll be there. With that being said, we've gone to Houston, Rockport,
Oh, wow.
Del
Corpus.
Rio, Corpus. So, people find us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and if they're willing to get us out there, then we'll go. We'll make the drive.
I was watching your TikTok when I was up here waiting.
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
So you saw my TikTok, my newest one. I'm gonna have you pull up my old one. So, long story short, during the pandemic, I started posting on TikTok when all the old people started getting on,
Right.
and I started posting videos of my work. And on one of my videos, I got 16.4 million views
Oh shit.
What's your Instagram, bro? I'm gonna look that up over
at AVA Custom Screens.
at AVA. Okay.
And then my TikTok is at ava.custom.screens. But my old one got hacked into. I got 171,000 followers on there.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, one of the videos got 16.4 million views. I actually still follow them. Ego got the best of me. I got an email that looked like it was from TikTok. They basically stole I gave them my phone number, password, logged in. How they got me was they offered me to get my account verified. And I woke up to the email at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm making my trip to Murphy's to get my tobacco and my monsters. I'm not looking at the email. I submit all that information, and next thing you know, I can't log in. So, with that being said, we're a local based business. So, the following that we had didn't necessarily help us in business. It's cool to see all those followers, all the likes, the comments, but yeah, it can't help us. But it looks pretty, but it doesn't necessarily help us locally. So
Okay.
Scammers, bro.
yes,
Yeah, you should have told him,
Scam.
bro, you
Yes,
know I work with the IRS.
got
You know who you're messing with?
They're messing with the wrong people.
Messing with
Yeah,
the
we
wrong
caught Al
guy.
Capone, bro. Like, y'all don't play with us.
This is a funny thing. So I'll check just to see if they've deleted my videos. My video's on there, my face is on there, and the only thing they're using the account for is to sell some rhino straps.
Oh,
Really?
my
Yeah,
goodness,
yeah.
you're serious.
I'm dead serious. I've tried contacting them. They won't return my message. So it's all good, man.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, go follow us on TikTok, AVA Custom Screens, so we can
I
get that
just followed
following
you,
back.
man. That's awesome.
So yeah,
Man, so good things do come out of COVID, as you can see, man.
yeah,
You
a
know?
lot.
Yeah,
You know, you got a relationship out of it. You
Yeah.
grew your business out of it.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man. What are some things, Tony, that you maybe that what made you want to start AVA Customs as well?
Well, so initially I started the business Breezy Garage Screens because my buddy told me about the lifestyle screen, which was
Okay.
my flagship product. And then, like I said, once you're in a niche market, you start adding different products. But from 2020 to now, I've got two stepdaughters, Ariana, Layla, Ava. My
Okay.
name's Anthony. My wife's name is Vanessa, and I have a 2.5-month-old named Anthony Jr. So I wanted something that incorporated them as well, involved them. So yeah, AVA Custom Screens, we're a family-owned business, and it's named after my
Nice.
family. So
And then my second question is like, you know, a lot of people find some sort of something that they watched or they were inspired by, encouraged. You know, what was it that you were like, man, let me start something. Let me do this. What would you say sparked that?
it wasn't something specific. I always had some kind of side hustle. Even in high school, I used to burn movies and DVDs.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah.
I
Wait.
think
We can't go that far.
Okay,
We gotta go into
sorry.
this. No. LimeWire, ShareBear.
Yeah.
Which one was it?
Geez, I don't even remember.
You remember?
man. No, I
We were
don't.
talking about that the other night.
LimeWire,
And I think
man.
the-
Remember LimeWire? All that?
The statute of
Napster.
limitations are over on this, but yeah, there was some not so good things that we were doing, fake ID, stuff like that. But
Damn.
regardless, we're older now.
Yeah.
Right,
you
so
good.
you got
grown.
perfected
Statute
it.
limitations.
So yeah, I've always had some kind of entrepreneurial spirit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Scentsy warmers.
Yeah.
I used to buy knockoff China brands, go to the flea market, sell those,
Boom,
buy
bro.
oils, fragrances by the gallons, sell that. So I've always
Been
loved
hustlers.
Yeah. But I actually found something that I loved, and that's providing spaces that enhance a family's home. And that's what I enjoy doing now.
Way to
That's what I
twist
love.
it on us. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's
No,
awesome,
I'm just
man.
like saying, he was all like, you know, we're going to the flea markets and now we're helping
Oh,
families.
but that's
quite
what
the
I mean. Though.
change.
Like you, I mean, I don't really know too many business people that didn't eat any type of shit. Meaning like there is something that they went through trying to create a business or they had one before, and I think I guess the luxury of it is like having your own time for what you want, like. Going to a 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you do sometimes. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. If that works for you, works for you.
Right.
But for me, I like to put my hands in many different things and you know, like to eat off of different plates, to just try different things, right? And I think if you don't teach yourself that early, whenever you're trying as you're older, you don't have the confidence to want to do that. And I think, and that's why I asked that question, because during COVID, there were so many businesses that were created. There were so many relationships that were created, but also so many divorces, right? Yeah. And so it was like, people were trying to sit there at home, you know, like, when am I actually going to see people? When am I actually going to be able to do things? So to hear people create businesses during COVID, it's crazy, first of all, that you think about it. But then when you're like, I actually got to sit down and be like, do I really want to get and do this? Do I really want to, you know, go do what I'm doing now? Like, let me start building something. Yeah. And I think us going home doing that, you know, taught a lot of us of those things. So that's why I was curious about that as well. Yeah.
So, Justin, what made you want to just hop into the entrepreneur side again and just run with it. Climbing ladders, not to the very top, but
So, I shared earlier, like in 2020, I went through some personal stuff, and
Right.
that was getting sober, and going through that whole process and going to a treatment and doing some self-discovery. I realized like how miserable I truly was. Like, even though I was making great money,
Right.
I owned a house. From the outside looking in, my life was great.
right.
I think, like, materialistically.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, man, like that just did a lot of self-searching and realizing like what did I truly enjoy, and when was, like, looking back to my childhood and stuff, like when was I happy? And it was like,
right.
I was playing sports and doing this stuff, but I also like working outside, and in the summers I'd go work with my grandfather, and it was like, okay, I enjoyed that. Me and my buddies would mow lawns and stuff like that. So that's kind of what made me just go for it. It probably wasn't the best time to to do that
Yeah,
with everything else that was going on, but I figured it out, and I had support from my family and my wife, and recovery's brought me a whole different side of life, and
nice.
I'm grateful for that, man. And my life's completely different than what it was
Yeah.
before, and the relationships I have, and the involvement with my son and the school and all that, like that's all a gift of recovery. And I mean, our relationship between the two of us is a gift from that as well.
Yeah.
You
So I don't know if you guys are men of faith, but I truly believe God puts us in places that we'll learn from or grow relationships from. And I'm actually in recovery. Excuse me. My words are getting jumbled because I'm getting emotional here thinking about what everything God has done in my life. But a year and a half ago, I went to an AA meeting, and I met Justin, and we formed a brotherhood, and been sober for a year and a half, and that's how we formed our friendship. We basically, mindset-wise, we're the same. We're the same people.
Right.
He holds the same quality of standards. He got me to start journaling, which is not manly, but guys, if you're not journaling, start journaling every day.
I've done it before.
Yeah.
Do it.
But yeah, I'm a firm believer that God puts people in us through situations to learn, grow for where He sees you becoming and going. So yeah, I'm a firm believer that God put Justin in my life for that reason.
Nice.
So
Yeah, same feeling, man. I mean, it's more than just a partnership and working together. It's like he's probably one of my best friends now.
Right.
I mean, we both know our darkest secrets of each other, and
Right.
it's been a privilege, like, to watch him grow too, and be a better husband and a better father, and be clean and sober, and his business is now thriving, and we're doing this together. So I mean, it's just like you said, God put us in each other's lives for a reason.
And that's awesome, man, to just take that, to be like, hey, like you said, God puts us in a place, and I've been through hell in my life. Like, I grew up in the foster care system and been homeless a couple times, was an Army, combat vet. There was times that I've cheated death many a times, and I always say, like, I'm here for something.
right.
Like, I don't know yet. I mean, I kind of know it's to help people. So I guess earlier, like when you asked me, like, hey, what got you into podcasting? Honestly, I love hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
I love hearing people's stories, and I love sharing them.
Yeah.
So I do marketing, but I always tell people, like, tell your story. Like, you can see the brand, and that's great. Here's the work that we do, but who's the person behind it? Like, what's your story? Why did you do this? Like, I think it's amazing that you guys have been able to share that and be like, hey, this is how we met, but here's how we're utilizing it and doing it better. Because I used to drink super heavy for a long time, and just recently, like last year, I told my wife, I was like, I think I can just go cold turkey if I wanted to. I mean, I like whiskey every once in a while, and I went cold turkey for like 2 months, and I was just like, okay, like, no, I mean, I still drink now, but I had to do it that way I could just be like, do I have a problem or do I not?
Right.
Like,
do it.
No, I
Yeah.
get it.
can I do it? And going cold turkey it's hard as hell, man.
It's hard, man. It's one of the hardest things that I know that I had to do is, I started drinking and drugging when I was 12, 13 years old. So having to learn how to live my life sober and deal with emotions and not even and realizing that like the way I was dealing with emotions wasn't the right way.
Right.
And it's like basically learning how to live again and at 30 years old. And but man, I'll tell you, it's such a brighter life on the other side.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
It absolutely is.
And like Tony was saying, like we didn't even do this, and I was thinking about this on the way over here. It's like one of the guys working for us, he doesn't drink. He's a veteran and he's been sober for a while. Another guy just started today, and he's also in recovery. So it's like just by that, now it just happened that these dudes are working for us.
Yeah, it's cool to see, like I was saying, God puts you in places and through things. But to look back and connect all the dots, that's what amazes me, and that's what kind of inspires me to keep growing, to see how far and what all God has done in my life. So,
Right.
yeah, it's awesome. I didn't even realize that now that you mentioned it. But yeah,
Like, and it's like that just happened. This guy, like, we found him through Facebook, Tyler, and we were sharing with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, I haven't drank since whenever." And we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!" Like God puts us in each other's lives. You know?
That's awesome, man. Like being able to use that not as a like, man, look at me, look what we went through, but like, hey, we could do it, so can you, but we can also help you. Like if you're lost, you guys have been there, and now you got these guys working with you, which is even cooler because they know they're not going to feel pressure after a long day. Like, hey, man, let me go get a cold one.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, hey, I'm going to give you a different avenue of how to relax a different way, like how we do it. So I think that's super cool too.
no, absolutely. So, yeah.
I'm pulling up y'all's website here, guys, so I'm going to let everybody kind of check this out here while we're live as well. So if you want to go check them out, guys, again, it's avascreens.com. I'm on the correct spot, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just want to make sure if I flip it over, man.
That's not us, man.
That's not
Right. That's a competitor.
Yeah, no, I think this is awesome, man. You can definitely see some of the work that they've done here. You can find out who they are and what they offer and, the commitments and everything. And check out their gallery here. Let's go see their gallery here. So, yeah, just go look at some of their work here. Man, so hot days can definitely come in and make these awesome screens. Look at that, man. That looks awesome. And still be able to see your great view, I guess, of everything around.
Yeah, definitely, depending on
That's
the fabric.
awesome.
But yeah, main purpose, I mean, it ranges, right? You want bug control, we can provide you a light fabric that's going to allow some breathability. Transparent still, but keep the bugs out. Or if you need some protection and privacy, we've got something for that as well.
So y'all have different colors too. So,
Oh, we've got tons
We got a
of
whole
colors,
selection, man. There's
I've
a
got-
whole binder full of
Yeah.
samples.
I mean, everything's custom. If we can't find something that matches the aesthetics, we can always custom color the hardware as well. So,
oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No patio is the same, but either way, we'll find a solution for
It's
you guys.
not, man. Some of these are more difficult. Like we were at one the other day up in Austin, and man, the contractor that built this patio cover, the post, I kid you not,
They were
was
literally warped.
warped, and
Oh,
they used the
wow.
wrong kind of lumber. Like they used
Oh,
like just
yeah.
standard, like it was bad. And we went up there to quote it, and I was like, yeah, I think we can get it done. We'll figure it out. That's kind of
Yeah.
our mentality. Like we will figure it out. And we did, but man, it was about 2 inches off from the bottom to the top, the curve in the post.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So but
Tested our skills.
yeah,
definitely.
it did.
Yeah, but I tell Justin all the time, we're the world's greatest problem solvers on site. It's- literally, we it might take us all day, but we're going to figure it out for you. So Yeah, I take pride in that for sure. So
What's been the most difficult job, you think? Anyone stand
I
out?
think that one last
yeah, that one last week. Yeah, for sure.
2 weeks ago.
With that being said, there's sometimes where it looks simple. At one time, it was raining, conditions weren't perfect. It literally took us what normally would take us 2.5 hours. It took us all day, several trips to Lowe's and Home Depot, but the shade came out perfect when we were all said and done. So, one specifically, I can't think. It's probably going to be that one that we did last week. But
Yeah, we did. We did one last week too in Kissing Tree. That one was a little bit more like detailed. We had to move some plants and some drip line and put some. It was cable guided instead of having tracks, so we had to anchor the cables into the landscaping. So we went and got some rock to match, like chop blocks to match what their planters are made out
nice.
of. We set those in and then anchored the cable receiver into that stone so it all matched the landscape. We had to build out off the pergola with some cedar 2x6s and stain all that. So a lot of custom work. That was a challenging one. Just with the way the landscape was and the planters too, like getting to the pergola was kind of hard.
So my question, because like I was telling you guys earlier, we have an outdoor kitchen and stuff. Now I'm thinking we have the coolers, is what they're called, and when it gets super windy, the strings are always popping and it's just like waving.
Yeah.
How do y'all shades like handle
handle the
up
wind.
to the wind here, because wind's crazy up here.
So we've got different options. Like Justin just mentioned, the cable guided shade, that kind of guides the weight bar and prevents it from flapping with the wind. With that being said, it's not really meant for high winds. We also have a 2-inch standard track, which are rated for winds up to 45 miles an hour, and we have a a spring-loaded self-adjusting track, a little bit bigger, heavy duty, 3¼ inch wide, but those are rated for winds up to 105 miles an hour with a heavy-duty weight bar. So,
Dang, man,
yeah.
you guys are ready for anything.
We've got different options that are going to find their solutions for different patios.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you have a patio and somebody's told you, we can't do anything for you, more than likely we're going to be able to find a solution for you.
Yeah, and I think
Nice.
some pros and manufacturer for the motorized shades.
Uh-huh.
They're based out of Florida, so they're
Oh,
making
yeah.
these for hurricane
Right.
weather. It's all powder coated aluminum, so it doesn't rust.
Nice.
Like Tony said, we can customize the paint to match the house if necessary, but generally the color options that they provide match with most homes and their trim colors. But yeah, the manufacturer's out of Florida, so they're made to withstand, high winds, hurricanes, storms, and all that stuff. Now, you obviously don't want to have the shade down.
Right.
Yeah. Preferably not, but
But-
they can withstand winds. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, question we like to ask, man. So, you are working all the time. Obviously, you got families and stuff. When are you finding time to wind down, and what is it that you do to wind yourself down?
Go home, sit with my kids, give my wife a kiss, and just relax, man. I got a 2.5-month-old Avery Jr. and my daughter's 3.
Anthony Jr.
Anthony Jr.
He's tired.
Sorry, I am tired. So yeah, I haven't been getting a lot of sleep, but yeah, Anthony Jr., my daughter Avery, and my wife. Honestly, just sitting on the couch, catching up with their day, seeing how their day went, hanging out with my family at my folks' house. Looking forward to that come Father's Day as well. So yeah,
Nice. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, man, I hang out with my kid and my wife a lot now. It's kind of like Tony said, it's my life. And just kind of like he's going to be a sophomore, so it's like, man, we only got him for a couple more years. You know?
Yeah.
Like that piece, he was gone all last week at a conference for theater. He performs at Circle Arts, and
Nice.
it was just weird not having him at the house all week.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
You're like,
But
this is
yeah,
what it's
man.
gonna
So
be like.
that, and I go to the gym. That's kind of like, that's become an important part of my life. Tony laughs at me because I still go after we work, you know.
We
Yeah,
sweat
that's
enough.
dedication.
But it's become a part of my life. Like you know, I've lost a good amount of weight, and recovery's kind of opened that door for me, and like taking care of my body, watching what I'm putting into it, and
Right.
all that good stuff. So yeah, that's kind of my. But yeah, my kid, my wife, and go work out or hang out outside in the pool or the river or the water.
Yeah.
And y'all said y'all don't drink anymore, correct?
No,
sir.
Yeah, no.
So this is the American thing to do, right? Or
Yeah,
maybe it's a man thing to do. Like, so you get out of work and you go crack a brew open, right? Like, so what do you tell those guys that are hard workers, not, you know, that maybe want to get away from drinking? What would you kind of say to those guys that are doing what you are doing as well?
I live off Monsters and Coke Zero, man. That's the first stop on my way home is a Polar Pop and a Monster. So yeah, that's what I drink. Topo Chico. I've learned to love Topo Chico because of this guy. He enjoys a Topo Chico. Like if we're hanging out with families, I'll have NAs. They taste good, but I mean during the week, I don't want to throw on all those extra calories. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diet Coke is fine with me.
You're out
Water,
of the sun,
obviously.
man.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
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 I'd tell them like, man, you feel a whole lot better. You don't feel like crap every morning when you wake up and hungover and stuff. And I mean, yeah, man, it's initially it's hard. It's like I'd be lying to you and say it's not hard. But,
Yeah.
Once you get some time under your belt and realize that it's possible to still have fun and go out and do all that stuff, like it doesn't even faze me anymore at this
Really?
point. Yeah, it's like I'm around family that drinks still. My wife still drinks. It's cool.
You just know it makes you feel.
It
that's for
turns
damn
me
sure,
into a
right?
bad man, dude. I'm a bad person. You know, make bad choices. Just not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it, man.
The good outweighs
Yeah.
so much more of the taste of alcohol.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot better myself of not drinking as much as I used to, and then also, me and Steve were grabbing about this about not being able to find a cold beer in your brothel, so that helps a little bit more. So, but no, it is tough, and you know, I grew up around a father that he did everything for us. You know, definitely put food on the table, clothes on your back, all that good stuff. But he was one of those gentlemen that came home and always cracked a brew open. So you see that all those years, and you're like, you know, it eases him, but never knew about the demons that it brings to you, right?
Yeah.
Until you start getting to a certain age and you start seeing those demons, you know.
Yeah.
But I respect him in a way because I never got to see how, you know, it really affected him. So I always thought it was okay, you know what I mean, until I started seeing it actually affect certain people.
Yeah, it's so normal, man, right? Like, it's so normal.
Like I said, it's like the American thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you look at it like it's just so normal, but it probably shouldn't be at some point.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, right? And I think, you know, I don't judge people that
No,
do
absolutely
drink
not,
or
but-
anything like that. But what I can tell you is that, like, if you think life without it is going to suck, it doesn't.
Gets better.
It gets better, man.
Absolutely.
It really does.
Yeah.
Especially if you're drinking the way I was or the way Tony was and doing the other stuff that I was doing too, like, life's a whole lot of hell better without it, for sure.
That's what's up, man.
So it's a whole mind shift, like a whole mindset, just shifting totally the way you live. Everything just makes it so much better
Yeah.
for you guys.
Absolutely.
It does, man. And like, you know, like initially it's like, how are you going to get through life without this, like hard times? And I'll tell you, like last year was probably one of the hardest years, losing one of my best friends to cancer. And I
Oh, wow.
did it through that, you know. If you would have told me 3-4 years ago, like, oh, I would have been able to deal with that and not go get messed up,
Yeah,
I would have told you that's not true. But,
right.
you know, I dealt with it and rode the emotions, and it just, it's a whole different way of life, for sure.
So now you guys are successful. You've made it through, you know, COVID and all this other stuff. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Man, just growing. I mean, we'll see. You know, I'm still heavily involved. Justin, I'm kind of giving him more responsibility. I'd like to focus more on the business and not in the business. With that being said, I hold my work to a certain level of craftsmanship, and I want it to look a certain way, and he kind of holds that same vision. So it's beneficial for him to be able to take over my role. That way I can grow into growing the actual business. Long term, we'd like to start accumulating other screen businesses, and
Nice.
yeah, kind of go that route. I think
Yeah,
Justin
I got
has
my eye on one in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy that guy out one day.
coastal covers. We're coming for you,
Elite
bud.
Coastal Covers, Eric Martinez. I'm coming for you, bud. But, no, man, I think, yeah, like Tony said, and it's hard. It's hard to scale a business, you know, especially something like this where it's so dependent on us going out and finding business.
Right.
Like there's no reoccurring like home service, like lawn care or something like that.
Right.
A reoccurring service, right? We install once and that's
It's
it.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to get another color next fall.
So, but I think to Tony's point, like when most of a business, I would say half of our business right now is coming from referrals.
Yeah.
So like we installed at one house and then both next door neighbors called us. And
Oh,
so,
nice.
You know, like they see the quality of work, they see how we show up, they see that we clean everything up, they see our guys are respectful, dressed nicely. You know, we show up when we say we're going to show up,
Right.
and the product looks good at the end of the day. And so that is probably the best piece of marketing you could do is that. It's word of mouth and referrals.
You know, you guys have such a unique niche. What advice would you have for any other business owners who may be struggling?
Keep going. Keep at it, man. I know that there's times where we have a tough day at an install and tell Justin, hey, bud, are you sure you want to do this? Because I've been doing this for 11 years and it doesn't get any easier, bud. It happens. But yeah, keep going, man. Keep doing whatever you keep doing. If you have a vision and that's what you think God put in your heart to do, keep going, because he's putting you through things to grow, to learn, to take you where he put in your heart to go. So
Yeah.
that's what it is, man. Yeah.
What do you say, Justin?
I mimicked what Tony said, man. Like I could tell you, like, fight through the fear. Fight through the fear of like you think it's not possible. Like you got to change that mindset, and that was one thing I struggled with when I had my landscaping company. It's like I was doing this, but then it was like, can I really do this? Like,
Right.
you know, like did I have the self-confidence? And I didn't have someone like this next to me, like
Yeah, you can lean on.
that we can lean on, you know. And I think that's the unique thing here. But yeah, it's like keep going, and if you set your mind to it, man, I tell my kid this all the time. If you set your mind to it, it's possible. You know,
Oh,
You got
absolutely.
to work hard and keep your head down and do the grind. But if you do that, like eventually things start to fall into place the way they're supposed to. Maybe not on the timeline that you think it should, but God, the universe, whatever you believe in, will give you what you need at the right time.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know.
Justin, you got anything, man?
Yeah, man. So I was looking at the chat here. So Poochie Larios says greetings from California. And then Ashley Cadell, who we've had on the show, which was last week, right, Stephen?
Yes.
She said, enjoy this time. Our oldest just graduated, and man.
I know he's driving
So-
right now, man. He just got his permit, and it's like,
Oh, really?
Oh my god!
And so, let me know when he's on the road, and I'll stay. No, just
Yeah, man. It's like from my wife driving my wife's car to my truck, it's like a whole different. And I'm like, dude, like, it's very nerve wracking. But
were you the one that like was showing them how to drive?
yeah,
and
we
the
split-
practice time.
Yeah, we split it. Like, he's getting to drive a lot to and from like football in the morning and stuff. So
Okay.
that's cool. And anywhere we go, I'm like, hey, drive. Like,
It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong here as well, Justin, that everybody's going to Long Creek. They kind of live super nearby the school, though, right?
yeah, everybody. It's kind of like all that side of town
On that
over
side,
there.
right.
You know, like between on the east side of 35,
Yeah.
Walnut to 725, all back there. All those new homes, and then
Yeah.
South Bank, and we live down Zip on Dunlap and
Gotcha.
stuff. So
And your only son, correct?
I only have one, yeah, man.
Okay, one kiddo.
One kid.
So Tony's going to be asking lots of questions.
Yeah, Tony.
Well, I've got 2 older daughters.
Okay, how old were your daughters again?
21 and 15.
21 and 15.
And then
Okay,
I got
okay.
my-
So,
my
yeah.
Avery,
Okay,
that's
so
3.
you already jumped the gun on that one.
Well, yeah, we're a blended family, but yeah, they're my daughters.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, man, I think that's awesome what y'all do, bro. And I mean, who doesn't love shade and who doesn't love to be able to keep their outside patio looking nice and, especially when you got a pool out there, right? Is there a lot of people that you work with have pools or as well?
Yeah, a lot of them.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing to consider too, and we haven't even really mentioned that, it's like if you put these on your patio, you keep all the mosquitoes out.
Nice.
If you have them down and kind of let you enjoy your time a little bit better out there.
And like
Extends
my
your-
my patio has I don't have a screen, so like when I'm trying to watch my TV outside, I don't have any shade for it too. So I'm sure that helps out a
Yeah,
lot as well, right?
Yeah, it helps
Glare
out
on
with the
your
glare
TV.
if you don't have
Yeah.
an outside TV, just a regular one out there.
Essentially extends your living space to an outdoor with the outdoor feeling,
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could have the shades down and open the doors, and the AC will be contained in there if you have a high percentage fabric. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
like we had a guy, he made a video for us, Chris, right? He had a misting system in his patio, and so it was like 92 degrees in there before he put the shade down and turned the misters on. And so he put the shade down, turned the misters on. In 15 minutes, it dropped it down to like 72 degrees.
Oh nice.
Dang.
Dang, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Heck
impressed.
yeah.
I mean, I believe in my product, but I was impressed with that thing.
I mean, we don't do the
We don't do
misting system,
misters, but
so,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
but-
the combination, kept it cool in there.
But yeah, man, it like Tony said, it gives these families more space to enjoy and enjoy their time with their kids, their grandkids, and just overall have family time. It can be enjoyable.
That's awesome. I appreciate y'all coming on here as well. Not only talking about y'all's business, but talking about a little bit more y'all's story, man. Because this encourages other people to want to do more and also just hear y'all's stories, hear different stories. That's why we do this show, and to hear that y'all had some live battles and y'all are successful as you are right now and still doing what y'all love, man. That's awesome, man. There's so many people in this world that are fighting both of those things, right? Not being able to find their place, and then also not finding their place in business. They're struggling in business. And I think once we're able to hear other people do it right or find their own methods, we tend to open up our eyes a little bit more. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
James Cox had a question. Says, where do you need to invest next to grow your business?
No, geez.
James Cox, huh?
Is he yours, buddy?
Yeah, he's a good friend, great guy.
I'll let Justin answer that one.
Where do you need to invest next to grow your business? I think really looking at it's getting some like processes in place on paper, and kind of for bringing some employees on, having like a career path for them, like kind of outlining what that looks like. Like, first 30 days, we're going to start you off and have you out in the field training and learn
Just
the
like
product.
SOPs.
Yeah, SOPs, all that good stuff. I think that's all stuff Tony and I have talked about, and we're slowly implementing. It's hard, man. We're busy, so it's hard to.
Yeah. That's the hard part about having a family-owned business is you're so involved where, you can't work on the business. So that's
Right.
where Justin comes in. He's able to take the lead. I'm able to start working on the business to expand and grow. So yeah, we're in that transition phase right now, but it's tough, but we're gonna get there. I know that because I got that vision. So.
That and more tools.
Yeah.
and
Always need more tools,
yeah,
right?
more tools and guys or girls that are willing to work out in this heat, man, because it's not, it ain't easy.
Man.
That's why I became a basketball coach. I get to stay indoors in a gym.
And it just hits you, man. Like it was
No, it
80
can.
degrees, nice, and then the next day it's 100 degrees, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's humid as
you know?
hell.
And then it's supposed to rain the next 4 days, right?
Yeah.
And we'll get some cool weather from that, But you're right, man. I think what people don't understand about that weather, if you're not used to being out there, man, you know, that'll kick your ass. But if you're used to it,
Yeah.
you can get through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you take care of yourself, drink water, drink
Yeah.
Monsters and Coke
Drink
Zero.
Monsters and Coke
You know,
Zero, you'll be
Tony,
fine.
man, like, Tony, yeah, I make fun of him because I cramp up more than he does, and I drink way more water than he does.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
dude, this doesn't make sense.
I have bad circulation as well. And the other day I was outside working on these from the first storm, getting all these branches and stuff situated. I go to HEB and I'm freaking grabbing some freaking bread off of the counter. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why am I cramping? I drink 4 Powerades. I've been drinking water. Like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, no, it's hilarious, man. But yeah, no, yeah, stay hydrated out there. So.
Yeah.
Well, another question we like to ask is, who would play you in a movie? Which actor would play you in a movie?
Wow. Man.
I'm gonna pull it up on Google too, so we're gonna see who y'all choose.
My wife would probably be better to ask
Yeah.
this question.
I couldn't tell you.
Man, I had to answer this question too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what was
That's
your
a
answer?
one.
Just curious.
Denzel Washington.
You went with Denzel, man.
I feel like Bert Kreischer for me.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
feel like that would look good.
Yeah, Bert
Fluffy.
Kreischer would be a good one. Fluffy. Hey man, y'all would have a really good movie. That'd be a really good movie. Seeing Fluffy and Bert Kreischer putting up all these screens and being outside and all that.
know,
Talking about
it's
cramps.
I know.
I love both of them
I
though.
know Fluffy's in town a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
he'll,
was super blessed to produce a podcast with them. So,
Oh, cool.
Shout out to Chancla Academy. He had him on his show, and me and Johnny got to produce the episode.
Oh, awesome.
And then we had Martin, who is Fluffy's best friend.
yeah.
He was on my podcast too, and man, we drank a whole bottle of tequila, Ocho, and had a blast with him, man. But never do that again. Yeah, had a blast with him, but I'll never do that again. So, but if you want to check that out, it's on Social Plug Media on YouTube, and we'll be able to find this episode as well. So, pretty awesome, man. So Bert Kreischer and Fluffy. That's a good one. I love it. That'd be a great movie. AVA Screens. That's so awesome, man. So where else could we? I mean, I know you mentioned your social media, but just plug yourselves again if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Where can we find you and all that good stuff again? on social?
Websites, avascreens.com, avascreens.com. Numbers 512-765-5329.
Awesome.
Instagram is at AVA Custom Screens. TikTok, if you want to follow us, ava.custom.screens. So pretty basic, man. You Google us, you'll find us on
Yeah, I Googled John. Yeah, we're right at the top. So definitely check these guys out. And I Googled them, like I said, and it came up. Check out the reviews, check out their website, like I said, and be pretty awesome. So, Steven, you got anything else, buddy?
No, I just want to say thank you guys, for coming in and being able to share your story and sharing a personal story too. I think that always goes a long ways. And, with the Rise and Win show, it's definitely about your business, but I want to really dig into who's behind the business.
Absolutely.
Like, who are you guys? So when we're like I like to shop local, and if I can see who the person is, it makes it even better.
Absolutely.
Especially knowing that you guys are there on the job site, at least one of you, like that goes a long way too, because you're not just somebody like sending some contractors out and hoping for the best.
No.
So
Yeah, no, that's why we're so huge on being a family-owned business and either one of us involved the whole step of the way. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for tapping in. We really appreciate it. We are unplugging.
There you
on
go.
the Social Plug Media.
He's getting it down. He's getting it
Yeah, I
down.
mean, no cramps. I'm just like,
No cramps. We're all good. All right, guys. We'll check y'all later. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.